All right, so are you ready to nail that web designer interview in 2025?
We're here to help.
Awesome. We're going to take a deep dive into some excerpts from 2025 web designer interview questions and answers.
This is going to be good.
It's top ranked, so we know it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The goal here is to give you a leg up. Not just like answering questions, but like really blow them away in the interview room.
Make a good impression.
Yeah. And one thing that always surprises me is how important the questions you ask are.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that before, but like I never really understood why.
Why?
It seems like they're the ones with all the power, you know?
I think it's good to remember that an interview is a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
It's about finding the right fit for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Your questions really reveal a lot about you.
Oh, really?
Your curiosity, your thought process,
Yeah.
and even your values. So you're not just looking for any job.
Right.
You're looking for the right place.
Oh, okay. So it's more than just like salary and benefits.
Well, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
But before we get to your questions,
Okay.
let's unpack what they're likely to ask you.
Let's do it.
One thing that really stood out from the source material
Yeah.
is the emphasis on holistic web design knowledge.
Holistic. So it's not just about knowing like the latest software.
Right. It's about understanding the whole thing.
So like what does that mean? What's the whole thing?
Think of user experience, visual aesthetics, SEO, and even soft skills.
Soft skills.
Communication and adaptability.
Oh, wow.
All that plays a part.
Okay, so how does that holistic approach actually show up in the questions?
Well, one common question they'll ask is, walk us through your design process.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
Most people just list the steps,
Right.
but that's a missed opportunity.
What do you mean?
They really want to know how you think,
Mm-hmm.
how you approach problems.
Instead of saying like, first I do this and then I do that,
Exactly.
I should tell a story.
Exactly. Like you're a consultant sitting across from them.
Okay.
You're solving their problem.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it. Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot better.
Yeah, and then you can bring in examples.
Examples from my portfolio.
Yeah, show off your skills.
Highlight how I tackled challenges.
Yep, incorporated user feedback. Use data to validate your decisions.
Like using A/B testing to see which design performs better.
Exactly.
Oh,
But don't just say you did A/B testing.
right.
Talk about the metrics,
The metric.
how you interpreted the results,
Yeah.
and what changes you made based on that data.
Okay, so it's really about going beyond the surface level and like showcasing that deeper understanding.
Exactly.
Okay, what other holistic aspects should I be prepared to talk about?
Accessibility is a big one.
Okay,
This shows you're designing for everyone.
not just the ideal user.
Exactly. So they might ask, how do you ensure your designs are accessible to all users?
To be honest, I haven't really dug into accessibility guidelines.
Well, now's your chance.
Okay.
Get familiar with the WCAG
It's
guideline.
like WCE.
Web Content Accessibility Guidelines.
Okay.
It's a comprehensive framework.
For making websites usable for people with disabilities.
Got it. So it's not just about making things look good for everyone. It's
Oh.
making sure everyone can use the site,
That's right.
regardless of their abilities.
Right, think about alt text for images, keyboard navigation, proper color contrast.
Right.
These all demonstrate a commitment to inclusive design.
Which is good design practice.
Mhm.
Speaking of good design practice,
Yeah.
responsive design.
Of course, they'll ask about that.
Because everybody's on their phone these days.
Exactly. And so they might even want you to go a little deeper.
Deeper.
Like, how do you approach responsive design beyond just making things fit different screens?
So how do you go beyond just making it fit?
Think about the user experience on each device.
Okay.
What content is most important on a phone versus a desktop?
Oh.
How can you prioritize that information?
So it's really not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
You need to tailor the experience to the device.
Exactly. You might mention things like optimizing images, using modern CSS techniques to ensure fast loading times.
Yeah, because nobody wants to wait forever for a website to load.
Exactly, no
Yeah.
matter how great the design is.
All right, so we've talked about responsive design. We've talked about accessibility. Let's not forget about working with other people,
Oh, that's a really good point.
like clients and team members.
Yes, exactly.
Because in the real world, it's rarely a solo act, right?
Right, so they might ask you something like, how do you handle feedback and revisions from clients or team members?
Because they want to know that you can work with other people.
Exactly.
Okay.
Collaborate effectively.
Communicate clearly.
Yeah.
So it's about finding that balance between being open to input
Mm-hmm.
and like standing your ground when it matters.
Yeah. You might even mention using a collaborative design platform to streamline that feedback process.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, it shows you're thinking about efficiency.
And transparency.
Yeah.
So you're not just a designer, but somebody who understands how to work on a team.
Right. And speaking of tools,
Oh, yeah, the software.
they're going to want to know, what design tools and software are you most proficient with?
Right.
And why do you prefer them?
So we're finally to the software part.
We are, but it's not just about listing every program you've ever used.
I was going to say.
They want to know that you understand the strengths and weaknesses
Of each tool.
of each tool and how they fit into your workflow.
So mentioning like Adobe Creative Suite, Sketch, Figma,
Those are good starting points.
but the why is what really matters.
Yeah.
So maybe you love Figma's real-time collaboration features.
one.
Or you're an Adobe XD keyboard shortcut wizard.
Exactly. Show them you're a power user.
Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here.
What's that?
It's not just about what you know, but how you use that knowledge
Yes.
to solve problems and
Yeah.
create great experiences.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key area they'll likely probe.
Hmm.
Staying up to date.
With all the latest trends in technology.
Yeah.
Because that stuff changes so fast.
All the time.
Yeah, so how do I show them I'm on top of my game?
Mentioning resources like design blogs, online courses,
Webinars.
design communities like Dribbble
Oh, yeah.
shows that you're actively seeking new knowledge.
So it's not just about keeping up with the trends, it's
Mhm.
about shaping them.
Exactly. And this proactive mindset is also really important when it comes to this next question.
What is it?
Can you describe a project where you had to work under a tight deadline?
Oh, the dreaded deadline question.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to talk about that.
But it's important.
Yeah.
They want to see that you can handle pressure,
Okay.
prioritize tasks, deliver exceptional work,
Even when the clock's ticking.
especially when the clock is ticking.
So it's not about working fast, it's about working smart,
You got to have a compelling example ready.
where I can show off my time management skills,
Yes.
my commitment to quality.
Even under pressure.
So maybe talk about how I break down a complex project into manageable phases,
Mhm.
set clear milestones,
Exactly.
communicate regularly with the client.
To keep everyone on track.
Yes.
Exactly. It shows you're organized, proactive,
Capable,
of delivering results,
even in challenging situations.
especially in challenging situations.
Okay, I'm feeling much more confident about tackling those tricky interview questions.
Good.
But before we move on to the questions I should be asking,
Yes.
there's one more area I'm curious about.
Makes that.
How do you balance creativity with usability in web design?
That's a great question, and one they might even ask you directly.
Really?
How do you balance creativity with usability in your designs?
It seems like there's always this tension between the two.
Yeah, you need to demonstrate that you understand that delicate aesthetics and functionality.
So it's not just about making something that looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's about making something that people can actually use.
You got to share an example
An example.
where you used creative typography and imagery to attract users, while ensuring that the navigation and checkout process were intuitive and streamlined.
So finding that sweet spot
Yeah,
where form and function work together
that's it.
to create a delightful user experience.
You got it.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm ready to dive into the questions I should be asking.
Okay.
This is where I get to take control,
Mm-hmm.
see if they're the right fit for me.
Right. The source material provides some fantastic examples of questions
Really?
that can help you gauge the company's culture, their design philosophy,
Okay.
and how they approach projects.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What kind of questions are we talking about?
A great starting point is, can you describe the typical workflow for a web design project within your company?
This seems pretty straightforward. Why is that so insightful?
It shows you're thinking about how you'll fit into the team,
Oh.
how projects are managed,
Hmm.
how your role contributes to the bigger picture.
Oh, so you're not just there to take orders.
Right.
You're there to collaborate.
And contribute to the team's success.
Okay, I'm starting to see the value in asking these kinds of questions.
Yeah.
What else should I have in my arsenal?
Another good question to ask is, what are the primary design tools and technologies used by the team, and how open is the company to new tools and innovation?
That's good.
Yeah, it shows them that you're not stuck in your ways
That I am eager to learn.
and grow with the company.
Yes.
Precisely. And here's one that can really give you insight into the company's values.
Let's hear it.
How does the company measure the success of its web design projects, and what role do designers play in this evaluation?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it shows you're not just concerned with aesthetics,
Right.
but interested in the impact your work has on the business.
It's results oriented.
It demonstrates that, and a desire to understand how your contributions are measured and valued.
And it could spark a really good conversation.
Exactly.
Now that we're talking about sparking conversations,
Yeah.
is there a question that's particularly good at getting them to open up about their design philosophy?
Absolutely. I ask them this. Can you provide examples of past projects that highlight the company's approach to user experience and aesthetics?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's a subtle way to get them to show, not tell.
Exactly.
It shows I've done my homework.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely interested in their work
Yeah. And it could even lead to a discussion about specific design choices.
and the thinking behind them.
Precisely.
Okay, I'm feeling a lot more prepared to ask some insightful questions.
Okay.
I can already tell this interview is going to be different from any I've done before.
That's great to hear.
So we talked about how to answer their questions, like really knock it out of the park.
And how to ask some pretty insightful questions yourself.
Yeah, which is a game changer, I'm telling you.
It is.
But there's one question from the source material that kind of caught my eye.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
It asks, what's one web design trend that you think is overhyped and why? Seems like they're trying to throw a curveball.
I don't think so. Not really.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an opportunity to show off your critical thinking skills, your ability to see beyond the hype.
So it's not just about knowing the trends. It's
Yeah.
about like having an opinion.
Yeah, an informed opinion.
Okay, so how would you recommend approaching this question
Yeah.
in an interview? I mean,
Well, first, choose a trend that you're actually interested in, something you've actually thought about.
critically.
Yeah, and then just articulate your concerns.
Okay.
Back them up with examples or evidence.
So if I were to say, like, I think the current obsession with minimalism is sometimes at the expense of user experience.
Right.
I need to have some examples ready.
Yeah, like maybe you've seen sites where that minimalist aesthetic leads to confusing navigation
Yeah.
or a lack of important information.
I've definitely seen that.
Or maybe you could even cite research.
Research.
Yeah, so suggesting that users find overly minimalist designs less engaging,
Huh. The point is, I've thought about it,
right?
and its downside.
Exactly. And, you might even spark a good conversation with the interviewers.
Oh, yeah, because they asked for a reason.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm seeing the value here in
Mhm.
asking challenging questions
Hmm.
for me and the interviewers.
It's a two-way street.
But I do have one more question.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about skills and
Yeah.
knowledge. What about personality?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I think that's often what really sets candidates apart.
How so?
Skills can be taught.
Right.
Experience can be gained.
But personality, that's unique.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to let your enthusiasm show.
For design.
Yeah. But how do you do that without seeming, like, overeager?
Unprofessional.
Yeah, you need to find that balance.
Okay.
Be authentic, be engaging,
Yeah.
and be genuinely interested in the conversation.
What about humor? Can I crack a joke?
A well-placed joke can really help break the ice.
Oh, okay, good.
Put everyone at ease.
Make me more memorable.
Yeah, but make sure it's appropriate
Right, for the set.
in the company culture.
So it's about being professional, but
Mhm.
also being myself.
Exactly. They're not just looking for a skilled web designer.
Right.
They're looking for someone who would be a good fit,
On the team.
someone they could see themselves working with.
Every day.
Right. So show them who you are.
Authenticity is key.
Yes. When you're genuinely excited about the work,
Yeah.
it shows.
And I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty excited after all this.
Good.
I'm not just ready to answer their questions.
Mhm.
I'm ready to ask my own.
Excellent.
I really see if this company's right for me.
That's the spirit. An interview is as much about you evaluating them
Ah.
as it is them evaluating you.
I'm definitely going to keep that in
Oh,
mind.
good.
Anything else we need to cover before we wrap up?
One final piece of advice. Practice, practice, practice.
Practice my answers.
Yes. But go beyond memorizing.
Okay.
Think about the key points and practice weaving them into the conversation.
So like a story.
Exactly. Practice talking about your process, your approach to solving problems, your experiences with different projects.
The more comfortable I am.
The more confident you'll sound.
And practice asking those questions too, right?
Absolutely. The more you practice,
Yeah.
the more natural and confident you'll sound.
And that can make all the difference.
It really can.
So it's not just what you say,
Right.
but how you say it.
Exactly. And remember, everyone gets nervous in interviews.
So it's okay to feel those butterflies.
Of course, it just means you care.
Okay.
Channel that energy into positive enthusiasm.
Right. I'm feeling much more prepared.
Good.
But before we officially close out this deep dive,
Yes.
any final advice?
As you head into that interview,
Yeah.
remember, you are talented, You are capable,
Thank you.
and you have something unique to offer.
That's a great reminder.
Good.
It's easy to get caught up in the nerves
Right.
and forget why I'm there.
Exactly. Take a deep breath.
Okay.
Believe in yourself
Mm-hmm.
and go show them what you've got.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect advice. I'm feeling inspired.
Good.
Wow, I feel like we've covered so much.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
You're totally prepared now.
I'm armed with all these strategies for answering tough questions and even some killer questions to ask them.
Exactly.
You know, I used to dread interviews,
Really?
but now I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
That's the goal.
Yeah, this is awesome.
But don't get too overconfident.
Right.
Preparation is still key.
Oh, absolutely. I'm already thinking about
Yeah.
which projects to highlight
Good.
and how to weave them into my answers.
Yeah, and don't forget to practice those questions.
Oh, I've got them all written down.
Perfect.
I really want to get a feel for the company,
Yeah. Their culture,
their culture, their approach to design.
it's important.
It is.
As you're prepping, think about this.
Okay.
What's one web design trend that you think is overhyped,
Ooh, that's a good one.
and why?
Yeah. It's like, it's not enough to just know the trends. You got to be able to think critically about them.
Exactly. It shows that you're not just following the crowd.
Right.
You're engaging with those friends in a meaningful way.
And it could lead to a really great conversation.
It could.
Yeah.
It also shows you're not just looking for a job.
Right.
You're looking for a place where you can actually contribute.
My ideas, my insights.
Exactly.
This whole deep dive has been amazing.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Seriously, I'm walking into that interview
Yeah.
with a whole new level of confidence.
Confidence is key.
It is.
But remember, it's not about being arrogant.
Right.
It's about believing in yourself.
Okay, I'm going to channel all this energy into showing them what I've got.
That's the spirit. Now go out there and ace that interview.
I will. Thanks for all the amazing advice.
You're very welcome. It was great diving deep with you.
And to our listener, good luck with your interview.
You got this.
We're rooting for you.